Well, hello, and get the party hats out. It's time to celebrate. We did it. We got to 2,000 subscribers. So thank you all very much, because there's no way that I could have done this without any of you. There's no way that this could have happened without any of you. So I want to thank you so much. Yep. So yes, got the party. I left a meeting, had a meeting just finish, and I've just jumped straight into this one. So I've got nothing set up, nothing planned. I had my university orientation today. I've managed to get half remote, half face-to-face. Yay. Because I didn't want to go full face-to-face. But yes, so thank you all very much. So, I believe it's been another crazy day in the YouTube sphere as far as Unirock and KJ has gone. I believe I've said, not sure if you can see join, but I've gone a little bit formal for your 2K subs. Have you? That's good, the Fox. They shall order cook. So I heard something about jury duty and not going to jury duty because of COVID or something, which I understand, because I didn't want to go to university because of the same thing. But, you know, I've had to do a bit of a compromise, which is fine. I'm happy to compromise. We just had a church leadership meeting, and it's like, we need to make plans. It's like, well, how can you plan? We don't know. We don't know whether we're coming out of lockdown tomorrow or not. You know, we can't make any. And then how long are we out for? You know, how do you make lockdown? You prefer jury duty? Jury duty. So anyway, so we apparently that's an interesting live to watch. So we'll watch that. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but I believe it is good. There's a little tie. Oh, is there? Oh, sorry, I can't see it. I'm sorry. No party here. Oh no. Thank you. Plan to create. So in the next couple of days, I'm going to talk about how we're going to run the competition. I will probably do it. It will be during a live stream, and I'll tell everybody when to come. And Ralph is going to pick the winners, because Ralph has a function where he picks random people. So Ralph is going to. So you better be nice to Ralph if you want to win. That's all I'm going to say. No swearing at Ralph. Well, I mean, we've still got cold weather here. Plan to create. Do you think we're coming out of lockdown? I'm in two minds about it. I wouldn't blame them if they want to wait for a bit longer, because we don't know what's the effect of those idiots the other day. Yeah, I can't see it here. It might point me, Ralph. Oh, you can't be mean to Ralph. Ralph is going to pick. Oh, Ralph is. I saw a different. Ralph, you're going to be nice to Ralph if you want to win the prize. Ralph is going to pick the prize. So, yeah. Hello, Mr. Obvious. Welcome to the party. Evening, Ralph. Yes, be nice to Ralph. So Unirock was reporting that KJ was taking out temporary restraining orders against the cult. So, and I'm wondering how that works. Ralph is mean and doesn't like. Oh dear. Record Ralph, thanks. Hello, Mr. Obvious. Thank you. Did anybody? I can't see, no glasses. Did anybody see any of the shenanigans today? Because as I said, I've been busy all day, like literally all day. My university orientation went for 2 hours, and it was like, oh, come, And then it was like, then it's actually hit me that I actually graduate in November. Like I finish in November and I've got my degree. And then I've looked at everything I've got to do, and I've gone into a bit of a panic. But that's what my August is looking like at the moment. You didn't see a thing short order cook? You've come here for it. Okay, well, guess what? I aim to please. We have another, and I know that she was wearing another hat in her live. So I've seen it. I went down on Twitter. Oh, dear me. I'm still trying to work it out. I'm still catching up. So this is going to be one of these, it's first reaction stuff. Little bit to do. Yeah, just a little bit to do. I actually just realised in 6 weeks I have to have everything laid out for my album release, and I've not done anything for 4 weeks. What was I supposed to say? Sorry, I was busy. Oh, getting vaxxed. Okay. Oh, you get. Oh, it's just my diary. This is August. My August diary. Oops. And that one. Look at it. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are essentially classes all day. Thursday's the only day off. Friday I work. And then Saturdays I have some stuff. And Sundays I have some stuff. So unfortunately, it means I may not be online as much, unfortunately. But I'll try and make it up to you. It's the sparkliest chaos ever. Well, I got really annoyed today because I laid out my diary, and they've changed one of the class times, so I've had to redo it all today because they changed one of the class times. And I said to the head of the department, I said, you make me want to cry. And then that's like the first week. That's the first couple of days back. Like that's the first week back. So, I said to him, you make me want to cry. And he goes, why? I said, because I just finished inputting in all my stickers, and now you've changed the time. I've got to redo it all. And I've also got, because it's an academic planner, I've gone in and put all the assignment due dates in as well. So for everything. So that's good. But yeah. So that was what today was about, and then they've told us, this is what you're going to do if you want to graduate, and this is what you're going to do. I seen Bouncy today. Yeah, look, I don't know why, to be honest with you, Robin. I just think, yeah. I heard from John Green last night too in an email. He wanted me to say thank you to everybody for the support that you all gave him last night. And he's hoping to pop in later tonight. Thank you, Spicy Pizza. So let's try and make sense of this. Safely, of course, yeah. Well, yeah, you got to get out and start living. And I think I actually went to the shops for the first time in a couple of weeks today. I just had to go get coffee, and that was pretty good. All right, so let's try and work out what this is all about. Yeah, so I heard from him last night, and he said he was doing okay, but he was very appreciative, and he said he's never come across a YouTube community like this. And I said, well, it's unique. I'm unique. Could you imagine if there was 2 of me? Yeah. So, all right, so let's have a look at this. All right. Alrighty, so we're going to do Katie Joy's stuff. Look, I have checked. There's been nothing that's been updated yet on the court website for the Friendly Geordies from Justice Rares. He's not updated anything as yet. So I can assure you that as soon as that's updated, I will have it to you, because I've also got an alert on the file. So as soon as something's updated, I get an alert. So I'm surprised I didn't crash the site. So I don't really have a Jordan anything to do the core update or anything at the moment, because there's nothing there. So just so that you can you can have my own swap meet. You know what? I don't think I'd get on very well with myself. I know sometimes when I'm really when my mind's going crazy, I can't deal with it. So she's got, I'm at a complete loss. Now Natalie's mum claims to know exactly who sent the threats, has evidence of who sent them, and claims they can't provide them because it's an open investigation in the UK. They have the police info here. Please send the FBI the info, Tracy. So now she's doxed. I'm assuming Tracy's Natalie's mum. So now she's calling out Tracy's mum. Someone says, we should stop sharing all of this. Giving them attention is encouraging them. If this is an active investigation, why did you post this with Twitter rather than calling the special agent in charge at the Bureau? That agent can get the name from the UK law enforcement. That agent will not be able to tell you the name, but it does not matter if the FBI knows. And then, because there's no investigation, lady, seriously stop. Go outside, read a book, spend some time with your family, and take a damn break. You're creating this drama. This is not healthy. So people are calling her out. And then she put a community post saying that she needs more people on her Twitter. But this whole thread, I know people don't understand why I've shared info about this case on Twitter, but it's how I got the evidence I needed. Until you have had your child's life threatened, your husband set up for child SA, your career almost destroyed over those lies, you won't understand. I thought Tardy destroyed her. I thought Saltsy destroyed her career. I have only shared a fraction of what our life has been like since this group of people have tried to harm my family. I haven't disclosed the hundreds of threats, the disturbing, threatening videos we've reviewed, or the countless hours we've spent working with lawyers. I haven't relayed the amount of money those lied damaged my business or lost subscribers over the fall and winter due to their interference and lies. I thought she was bragging she had her subscriber base had been counted. I don't know. I'm confused. Okay. Not to mention the fact my reputation was smeared. Manufacturing evidence to make someone look bad isn't criticism. But her reputation, she does a pretty good job of smearing her own reputation. Hello, Kim. Thank you. I'm just trying to get comfortable. Sorry. All right. The lengths these people went is beyond disturbing. I've been hell-bent on proving the conspiracy. I will not have my husband labelled as an abuser, because he's not. I will not be labelled a hacker, criminal, doxer, or dangerous when I am not. I will stand up for myself and my family. But she just doxed Natalie's mum. I will not let this go until every last person involved is held criminally responsible for their horrific crimes against my family and others. Let's not forget about the creators they terrorised and true blacks for literally speaking out against them. The thing is, if she's not going to let it go until every last person is held criminally responsible, it may not be. So it means we're never going to hear the end of it. And then someone says, as long as you aren't risking anything for yourself, then speak your truth. You're the only one coming with any receipts. I have been watching from the background, but I can't keep my mouth shut anymore. What happened to you is up. I'll be in a straitjacket, rocking in a padded cell. If I went through this, you are strong. Don't let anyone silence you. Well, if I was going through it, I wouldn't be doing it. I would not be talking about it online. Does anyone know if Katie AKL aka LMN is active anywhere? Someone emailed me claiming she's in a Discord. Can anyone confirm or deny this? Is anyone familiar with someone named Joan? That might be in Erin's chat. I keep getting emails and I can't tell what is real or fake. This is also annoying. Why is it your job to know what's real or fake? send them to the authorities. There's a Joan and Steve's chat also on his Twitter feed. Don't know her though. KJ, stop telling me I'm unhinged. Twitter. Sometimes the best thing to do is just log off and walk away. Peace of mind can't be bought. A regular job won't come with this type of baggage. Well, actually, a regular job, they wouldn't put up with this type of stuff. Let's be honest. Don't blame a clown for acting like a clown. Ask yourself why you keep going to the circus. IMO, you know too well they'll do anything to try to make it appear you're harming them. I don't know how you trust anyone. Do what you need to do to find the info you need, but stay safe, please. For the peace of mind, it's not paranoia. If they're really trying to destroy you, it's wise caution. Stop it. You seem as crazy as that at this point. You keep pushing these people's nonsense out here as it's supposed to make some kind of sense to anyone but the nutters who are doing it. You don't want this BS to end. If you did, you'd stop promoting their every move. Oh. I am not under an evidence preservation demand, so it's weird people who think I can't delete things, even when I was under one. Even when I was under one, I could delete things as long as they were saved for the case in a drive. Imagine being that dumb and using it as an excuse to stalk somebody. What on earth? This is not making so sense. And then someone says, "Oh, Tati, I am so sorry. Sending you so much love. I'll be praying for your mum and family." What on earth? Someone says, "Oh, Tati?" I don't know. That was really weird. I know Tati had said that her mum was in hospital. Anyway, so that's that one. And on this one, so has anyone worked out what's going on yet? So now we've got a repeat of what she did before. Well, that's right. I'm still trying to work out what she would be getting I don't know how she's going to get a restraining order. How can you get a restraining order for online stuff? Because the restraining order will say don't contact these people. Well, if the people haven't been contacting you, anyway, I don't know. All right, so yeah, please stay safe. Right, so she posted. Oh yeah, here we go. So that was I'm at a complete loss. Then she posted this. Too late for apologies now. What on earth is this? No one is going. Yeah, that's. No one's going to frame my husband. Creators were given audio of LMM threatening to kill me, and not one person sent it to me. This isn't. This is the interesting thing. No one is going to try and frame my husband for child essay so they can flip the narrative in the court of public opinion and get away with it. Creators were given audio of LMN threatening to kill me, and not one person sent it to me. This isn't tea. This is life and my safety. Now, why would they be sending it to her? If I had come across audio of this, I would be taking it to, first of all, my local authorities to get advice from them. And then I would be going to the FBI. I would not say, "Hey, Katie, someone's trying to kill you." There's no way I would do that. So she's complaining because people didn't send these alleged death threats to her. But I'm saying, my point is, why would they? They would send them to the authorities, wouldn't they? She posted this months ago when people were accusing her of being behind everything. Liar. What is this? Who is this? Oh, Little Miss Snowball.
What will they come up with next? Who knows? But anyways, I can safely 100% surely tell you guys, I am not the hacker. I have been around Twitter for 2 years, and just have only wanted KJ to change her ways. That's it. I don't hate her. I don't despise her. I don't make fun of her looks. I just wanted to see change, as did everybody else. As for you, Mrs. A-Care, Julie, and Charlotte, and T-Spiracy, sorry to disappoint you guys, but I am not the hack. I'm issuing this statement because
So there, she posted this months ago. Then she's got that thread again. Yeah, that one. The biggest thing the stalkers steal from you is your sense of peace. I miss feeling safe and okay. I miss not being terrified of the next thing they will do to hurt me. They say you aren't supposed to talk about your fear because it makes the stalkers happy, so they steal your voice. Yeah, I can't work this out. Help. Does anyone remember the fake screenshots that were put out in June by Nat and that admitted were fake? Do you remember what those specific SS said? Thanks. According to Natalie Kennett's mum, she claims Steve McRae messaged Nat in February on Instagram. She alleged he sent graphic images and warned her to do what LMN said. Tracy alleged they reported it to police at the time. This is what Natalie stated last week. Tracy claims that LMN told Natalie at the time to ignore Steve and that he was drunk, but then changed her story only weeks ago to claim the account was fake. However, the account Natalie told me sent the messages is Steve's account. These are their allegations. The young lady that was talking was Little Miss Noble, denying the hacking. And then she says, because there are no screenshots of the interaction, there is no way to verify with certainty if Steve sent those messages. But his name does come up a lot in their DMs. Or maybe it's a setup. It's a trap. I don't know, people. Every day I get more and more confused. Does anyone know? Has anyone made sense of any of this? Finally making. Oh, wait on. Then she says, hang on. Right, then we've got, say you're a stalker without saying you're a stalker. We all know you're not a real programmer, man. Stop fronting. So legit. You can capture Twitter deletions, same as YouTube comment deletions. That is pretty awesome. Where do they go? Your Discord? Right now they go to my email. I suppose I could do it via Discord, but I'd have to get a bit more clever about automatically censoring the bot's avatar so she doesn't block it. Right now I'm just copying the screenshots by hand. So, and then she says, I've never met anyone that wants to be a victim of anything. How about we stop this playing the victim mentality? When people are victims of crimes, harassment, abuse, thefts, domestic violence, they are victims. I don't know anyone that actively seeks out this status. But didn't she say she wasn't a victim before? Oh. I'm always truly amazed by these types of tweets from you speaking about others, but really it's about you. When you speak truth, this is the only time when your subconscious speak the truth. Anyway. Yeah, but didn't she say she's not a victim? So it's still going. And then we're going to watch her. We're going to watch her Instagram live, and we're going to watch it together. But I believe she talks about jury duty. Could you imagine her doing jury duty? Thank you, Vedandra. How is J-Lo 52? This is not possible. She's quite possibly one of the most beautiful women on the planet. Oh, so he's her boyfriend, Ben. So I said to Harrison, hey, Harrison, I got to 2,000 subs. Isn't that great? And he goes, yep. Now, when are you going to get to 3,000? I went, oh, come on. So now she's saying she's not on an evidence preservation order. And then she says, finally making progress. I think I can actually file for restraining orders now. This next week, I'll be working to get that part done. I'm so done with this. Thanks for all your support. Oh, Fox, 52 minutes, I think. Then this person says, I'm so happy for you. Please reach out to community if you need support with the money. Many of us feel you are doing this for the benefit of everyone. Good news. So people are already offering their money. We are hoping you find justice to end the horror of these people have put you through. You and your family deserve peace, and you deserve to do your job without these obsessed people trying to destroy your hard work. So, yeah. So, anyway, before we go to KJ Live, there's a couple. I should be kicked off jury minutes. You refuse to make sense of anything, Lee? Oh, look, it's getting that way, isn't it? So, Uni Rock had a whole pile of other really weird stuff as well, but I just wanted to show you. I'm just going to do a segue. Something more important than Katie Joy at the moment. The flux capacitor. Well, come on, we do it for research, the Fox, body language research. So this is from an organisation that says, help, we can't breathe. Pray for Myanmar, struggling to get oxygen as dead bodies pile up. So this is going to talk about COVID, so I'm really sorry. But Myanmar has a bit of a problem at the moment, like a lot of nations. So not only have they got the war, not only have they got the military and there's protests and everything, COVID is running rampant. I heard that the Salvation Army has a training facility where they train ministers, and I've heard that half of the people at that training facility are now in hospital on oxygen. So it says, what's happening in Myanmar looks eerily like it's surreal scenes from an apocalyptic movie. A long trail of vehicles await their turn to unload their cargo. Dead bodies at the crematorium. Thank you, Graham. Some vans and lorries carry one body, others 3 or 4. Some corpses have at the added dignity of being housed in simple box, while others are just wrapped in cloths or straw mats. The dead keep coming. The crematorium cannot burn bodies fast enough, so the bodies are stacked on top of each other in a pile and left at the back of the crematorium. This is so upsetting, to be honest with you, to think that, I mean, we saw it in India, the same thing in India. Look at that. Same thing in India, parts of Indonesia. They're just crippled with it. Out in the streets, the living rush about. They are hunting for just one thing, oxygen. It does not matter that people are supposed to be at home adhering to stay-at-home orders and curfews. They do not worry about being caught because they do not know if their sick loved one at home can even survive the day. Hospitals are not admitting any more COVID-19 patients. Doctors and nurses, many of whom are involved in the civil disobedient movement since the military coup happened in February, have disappeared from their posts. The country cannot live literally or metaphorically breathe. Look at all the oxygen. Hello, Trigger Happy. Hello, Shelley R. I know, I'm pretty happy. So this is pretty disturbing. And so this is flood. So there's been flooding in Myanmar, and they're all trying to get oxygen. The sick scramble for oxygen from metal cylinders, which run out faster than they can be replaced. They join queues to wait all day to refill their cylinders. People on the ground, non-profit workers and pastors, say that a 40-litre oxygen cylinder can cost $1,000. An oxygen concentrator machine, which runs on power and need not to be refilled, can cost up to $2,000 these days. Even if people have the money, sources say some imports of the oxygen apparatus are delayed or blocked by the authorities, who are more eager to stock up on the essentials for themselves. Companies which offer the free public supply of oxygen from their factories and plants find themselves being shut down by those in power. So the militaries are also playing a role in this by the looks of it. Look at this. This is 2 boys left the queue for cylinder refills and wept. They had received a call from home informing them that their mother had died. They've just found out that their mother had died while they were waiting to get their oxygen refilled. Yet people still cling to slivers of hope. They go on Facebook and search meticulously for any rumours of or news available of oxygen supplies. Then they dash there, only to join a long snaking queue. As they shuffle forward, sometimes they get calls and they drop out of the queue weeping. It turns out that their loved one at home have breathed their last. Hello, Totally Clueless. So this is the darkest time in our history. We have been through a lot as people over the centuries, but nothing competes this double whammy of being hit with the COVID-19 pandemic, which has been mismanaged after the military coup. So not only have they got the military, so they're dealing with COVID-19, and then the military are just messing around with them. So I said Pastor Tristan, not his real name, for one of the largest church networks in Myanmar. According to official figures, there have been more than 208,000 infections and 4,181 deaths in the country. sorry, Totally Clueless. Myanmar. Since the start of the pandemic. Health workers believe the case numbers and death tolls are far higher than officially reported because testing collapsed after the military seized power from the elected leader on February 1. So they have no idea what the results are. One estimate provided by public health experts in Myanmar predict that 50% of Myanmar's 55 million people will be infected within the next 3 weeks by either the Alpha or the Delta variant of COVID-19. Another reputable health specialist expects that the population will be decimated by at least 10 to 15 million by the time COVID is done by Myanmar. This is devastating. And we've got idiots in Australia protesting about lockdown, and it's So it's David, a youth leader who originally from Kachin State but now based in Yangon, said doctors interviewed by the media cited figures that 80 to 90% of people in Yangon have already been infected by COVID-19. He estimates that at least 2 in every 3 households are in need of oxygen now. David, who works for an international Christian non-profit organisation, was himself, so this guy's there, diagnosed with COVID-19 in late June. The 4 adults in his household also had COVID-19, and his 2 young toddlers also had symptoms of the disease. Though his lungs have yet to fully recovered, David has been going out and about helping others secure oxygen for those in need. I even get 2 calls at 2 a.m. from people asking me for oxygen, even though I had arranged for someone else to come over to get that machine at 6 a.m. at that morning. I had to give it away to the person in need most. So every day is about finding oxygen and giving it away, said David, who finds himself experiencing shortness of breath from the aftermath of the disease. Hey, Mr. Obvious, I did wonder whether we should find an island to put all the protesters on, hey? So it says here he knows a number of people around him who have succumbed to the disease, including a relative who died a few days ago because there was a power shortage in the capital of Myanmar and the oxygen machine could not work. Lately, he has been working with friends from Singapore to try and get a few oxygen concentrators into the country. So Singapore's trying to help out. Pastor Tristan said many pastors in Myanmar are either infected or at high risk of being infected because of their pastoral work and volunteer work. Hello, Jenna Sweet Tea. Pastors are dying. Many of them are infected because they do the funerals, home visits, or volunteer in other ways. Just a few days ago, I got a call to bury 2 bodies. They cannot find anyone to bury the dead. So how can I say no? He makes it a point to wear PPE when conducting funerals and donates PPE to other pastors who cannot afford it. He estimated that in Chin State, a predominantly Christian state in western Myanmar, has lost 200 pastors from the disease. Apart from the lack of oxygen, there's a shortage of medicine and food. Shops and factories are closed and people cannot get their supplies. Many are out of the job. Pastor Tristan sleeps only 3 hours a day. He spends the rest of the time coordinating volunteer teams on the ground to distribute oxygen, food, PPE, and test kits to people who need them. He managed to stockpile some of these items before the military coup happened, but the supplies are running low. It is the most horrible and terrible thing to get so many calls from people, but I have no oxygen for them. That's because I know with oxygen they have a good chance of survival and recovery. Thank you, everybody, for your congratulations. But you're right, Princess Jax. That's why I've sort of done it as a just in between. It sort of puts it into, perspective. So over in Singapore, Justin Baptist Church, which serves a congregation of 400 people from Myanmar, has been working with its partner ministry in Myanmar to support its members and families back home. Our members are doing okay because our partner ministry in Myanmar has been supporting their families financially and helping them find medicine. We're also tapping into our own contacts to send 4 oxygen concentrators over there. Pastor Stephen, who serves as a congregation of about 80 people in Myanmar at a church in Singapore, said COVID-19 situation in Myanmar is worsening due to the lack of accountable authority. This is the problem. Our elected leaders, including President and State Councillors, are still being detained by the military. Armed terrorists abuse their authority by robbing oxygen supplies and medical aid from people and by abducting volunteer doctors. Thousands of internally displaced people are suffering and fleeing from their homes as genocide continues against their ethnic groups. Another pastor who has 50 members in its Myanmar church said members are mostly domestic workers whose families live in rural villages. They are less affected by COVID, however, they have been having difficulty contacting their family due to internet connection issues. They can't send money home as the banking system is not operating. So their families are fighting the civil war, displacement and lack of money for daily living. Members of his congregation have been pulling donations and sending them to organisations, churches and people in need. Thank you, The Art of Engineering. Apart from Pray for Myanmar and her people, Pastor Tristan hopes the country will get the international aid it desperately needs. Obviously, Myanmar needs desperate help. United Nations said in a report on Monday that it's stepping up efforts to combat an alarming spike in COVID-19 cases and expects Myanmar to receive enough vaccines this year for 20% of the population. Pastor Tristan says, we can't breathe, we are dying. Please let the world, Singapore and Christians know. And then there's some prayer points there. But I think what I think is really scary is that the military is really, really interfering, really. The military is so just keep Myanmar, and it's not just Myanmar. There's Indonesia. There's a lot of countries that are struggling that we don't hear about, and it sort of puts our own little perspective together. I mean, India is also, again, it's a shame that we can't, as a united world, go and help those that need it. But anyway, and then we've got stupid idiots in Australia that protest for freedom, and really, they don't know what not having freedom's like. Look at the poor people in Myanmar. They make me sick. Oh dear. I won't get started on that. But anyway, I just wanted to do that as a bit of a segue, just to sort of, bring up that serious issue. I didn't mean to down it, but I think we need to talk about it, that we have countries around the world that are in desperate need of help. So, no, I don't know how China's COVID figures are. I don't know. It does totally clueless. It does make you think about your own priorities. As I said, I know that the Salvation Army's training facility where they train ministers, local ministers, they've got half of their students in hospital at the moment on ventilators. So, this is an hour 4. She did an hour 4 minutes. Well, and that's the other thing, Shorter Cook. They're not talking about it. Mainstream media. Nobody talks. Nobody. Yeah, it needs to be brought up. That's why I do these. That's why I bring these issues up, because I see them and I go, this is horrifying. And yes, that was written by a Christian magazine to shed that light, but it was the only document that I could find, because I looked when I went looking for it, that was talking about it in that depth. I've never, ever heard them talk about people having to line up. I've not read an article where they're saying that people have had to line up for hours and hours and hours, or that the military are actually taking the oxygen as it's coming into the country. So anyway, well, I'll get off my little hot time. I guess for me, because I know in depth, I'll have to have a look at in depth. As I said, I've had a really busy day today, and some of the people in that Salvation Army training, in that training facility, I actually know. So I met them, and they're young people, and it's really sad. Oh, of course they will, the art of engineering. I still think we need to put them all onto an island, or maybe they can go and work in the COVID wards, because another 2 people died in New South Wales today. I mean, it's horrific. Until you talked about it, I've never heard anything about that country at all. Well, Genesis, wait till until I actually went there. I really didn't know much about it. And I also went to Indonesia later in that year on an exchange for university. And I was, I also look at Indonesia now differently. When you go there and you don't go to because but for both countries, I didn't go to the tourists, because whenever people talk about Indonesia, they talk about Bali. I didn't go to Bali. I went to Jakarta in Indonesia, which is the arts and the music center of the world. So, but I think we need to have a perspective. And as I said, we find out tomorrow whether our lockdown is extended or whether we're coming out of lockdown. And you know what? After reading what's happening in Myanmar, I'm grateful that I'm healthy and I'm vaccinated. So anyway, right. So now we've had that little bit of reality, let's go into the ridiculous again. Surprisingly, as a travel, Jakarta? If only I knew you 2 years ago, Osborne, when I was needing to find tickets to Indonesia. I always wanted to go back. And Myanmar is beautiful as well. So, hello, Diane. You're just in time for the circus. The Herald Sun is reporting that we're going to have some restrictions eased. So it looks like I'm back to school. Leaked. Nothing's ever leaked to the media. Sorry, I missed you. Many clients that loved it there. Jakarta, yeah, Jakarta is beautiful. Very interesting. I actually did some Indonesian studies there too. We were supposed to send the vaccine to Myanmar, but we were given extra. Yeah. Do I get popcorn? Yes, you need to get popcorn and peanuts. So apparently, travel restriction will be moved. Masks will be mandatory indoors and outdoors. Schools will be open. Hospitality open for strict patron caps. 1 person per 4 square meters. Public outdoor gatherings, 10 people. Retail open with 1 person per 4 square meters. Gyms, hairdressers and beauty open with 1 person 4 square meters. Workplaces open with a 25% capacity or 10 people. I've still got lots of questions. I haven't seen anything about universities, higher ed. I'm assuming they're going to have a cap on people. and places of worship. But anyway, I'm still not sure. Yeah. And the second thing I've got to say is it's the Herald Sun. Well, because we've got too much AstraZeneca and we actually make them in Australia, so we keep sending them off to everywhere. Oh, anyway, you got your popcorn? Well, I mean, and don't forget, countries like Myanmar, there'll be lots of countries like Myanmar where there aren't correct figures because no one's actually taking count. Yeah. Just got a different hat on. All right. As I said, I'm not sure. I did hear them say today, I did hear the guys say that they were going to be meeting in late into the night and having a meeting tomorrow. Well, we could have been making Pfizer by now, but I did hear that some Liberal Party donors have money in AstraZeneca. That's what I heard. It's just a rumour. All right. Here we go, people. Get your popcorn out. Oh, I got one.
You guys.
What did she do? What? She just put her cap down. What did she do that for? No rumour, the fox says.
Hi. It's Sunday night. I have no idea if anyone's around. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Hi. Hi.
I'm just waiting on my burger in the cafe. Says totally clueless.
Such a mellow day here. Who else did laundry today? Who else took care of kids today?
What's this? Has she got more than one kid? She says, who else took care of kids today? Hang on. She's got a kid.
Who else did laundry today? Who else took care of kids today?
Kids? You've got one. Or is there another one hiding? She's been nice today. I'm not sure if it lasts, Christine. I haven't seen it. So you're going to get my full unedited reaction, which is what usually gets me into trouble. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Yeah, I just was really surprised to hit 2,000 today. And she's looking over her shoulder again.
Who else? Hung out with their families today. Mellow day. Good evening. How is everyone? This is my I don't want to like do my hair hat. I'm good. I did like 4 loads of laundry and it was a really mellow weekend.
Thank you, Tracy. Well, her Twitter. She was on Twitter and Instagram and all sorts. Like to see whether she was on Facebook today.
We had another migraine-filled weekend, so we didn't really do a whole lot. Lots of mellowness.
I think she put a Tide Pod in her. Mm.
Laundry, laundry, laundry. Oh. looks low. It's good job. I feel very chill. Sorry you're in the hospital, honey. It's like this hat has been destroyed and chewed up by dogs, but
Laura says she obviously has nothing of importance to say. So if you watch my community tab, I'm going to put how we're going to draw the winners of the competition. So it'll be in a live chat probably on the weekend. And I have yeah, and Ralph will pick the winner. So make sure you're nice to Ralph.
You had lunch out with friends?
I couldn't. I thought I wasn't sure what it was supposed to. I thought it was going to be that, and then I thought I don't know how to pronounce it because I don't.
That's awesome. I love that. You were indoors with the Olympics and laundry. Oh, hello from St. Louis Park. That's my old stomping grounds.
You want to know what was interesting? I was watching the gymnastics yesterday, and they were talking about the the American gymnasts, and they're and then so this gymnast gets up to perform, and they go, and this gymnast, she's from St. Paul's, Minnesota, and I went, and it was the only gymnast they actually identified where they were from, and I thought, I wonder why he said that.
Say hello to the Park Tavern. You did facials all day? Oh, that sounds nice. Happy birthday. Happy 35th birthday, Nick. Yeah, for some reason the migraines this summer have been really bad for my son, so hello from Trinidad. You're in Fridley. Friendly Fridley.
This is riveting stuff here, isn't it?
Friendly Fridley. Thanks for the badge, Kim.
Why on earth has she started to sing? Get your own uniqueness.
Lots of thunder and lightning.
Very, very frightening me, Galileo.
Spreading mulch in the yard, watching my pool. I don't know why the summer is so weird with migraines, but yeah. This one we got the headache went away by last night, but today was really tired.
I watched how they got the equestrian horses to Tokyo. That would have been an interesting, well, the amount of care on the plane, Simon. You know, those horses are well looked after. You're a bit slow this morning. That's all right. It's nighttime here and I'm still slow. I realised today that, I've got my major project due in a while and I haven't even started the online content. So if you're following my website, I've actually just started to upload. I've just started working on it and I've got a bit of work to do. At least she's entertaining. I know this, yeah.
meds that he takes that knock him out. Kind of perked up by like 7 o'clock tonight. Watching from Portugal. That's awesome. We haven't been having thunderstorms. Someone was saying that are the Olympics happening? I thought the Olympics were like, is it the real Olympics? Isn't it early for the Olympics? I didn't pay attention to the Olympics.
Really? Really? Seriously? Oh, did you hear that there was some Olympic... So there's some... so beach volleyball, while men can play in tank tops and shorts, women must wear midriff-bearing tops and bikini bottoms. Well, some of the female teams have said, no, we want to wear, what the men wear. And so they're being fined. And Pink has offered to pay all the fines for the teams who refuse to wear bikini bottoms. She's come out and said she will pay the fines. Isn't that great? Yeah. She offered to pay their penalty. She's offered to pay the fines. I think that's great. And because I've always objected to that. Why should women have to why can't women wear the shorts? Yeah, the real Olympics, not the fake ones. Oh, and I also remind me to show you a tweet from an Australian Dylan Alcott, who's a wheelchair Olympian. He's a tennis player, world number 1 wheelchair tennis player, who said that he was so excited about the Australian that won the gold medal, he nearly stood up. Yeah, he says, I nearly stood up. I was so excited. The guy can't stand up.
Olympics. There's no rain here. We're in a massive drought. So that doesn't even make sense. Boston.
Oh, the Dylan Alcott. Yeah, that was hilarious. I laughed when he said, because I'll bring the tweet up. Remind me after, because, it was so funny. He tweeted, Amani, take a bow. What a swim. I almost stood up at the end. I was that excited.
I always thought the Summer Olympics was like in August. Isn't it early for the Olympics?
Doesn't she realize that it's in summer in the country that it's hosted? So, for example, when it's in Brisbane in 2032, it will be held...
It's like a weird time for the Olympics to start.
It will be held in summer. Funny that.
I know it's 1 year late because of COVID, but I always thought they started in...
Is she really asking that question? Is she really asking that question? It's called the Summer Olympics, and it's summer in the city of which it's done. I do like the Olympics too. So I said I was watching the interesting thing was I was watching the gymnastics, and the German gymnastics team wore a leotard that went all the way down there. Like, they were protesting about having to wear scantily clad leotards, and had a full length leotard that covered their feet. That went down to their ankles, which again I applaud. So women are starting to speak out about the stuff that they're having to wear. I think they got penalised as well, but they wanted to make a point.
August. End of July, early August. Got it. Jersey girl. Amy Duggar's son, or Amy Duggar King's son, is pretty damn cute. You got that right. Very cold in Massachusetts. It's hot here. Drought in the UK. Drought in Utah. We have a huge drought right now.
Yes.
So if the athletes are all vaccinated and then everyone...
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think Japan just wanted it over and done with. I think you're right. And here we go.
That works there is vaccinated. That's not a bad thing. And then if people go there are vaccinated.
But there's no crowd.
Right? The cases that are happening now are happening in unvaccinated people. Like, I don't know why people would be mad. If people are getting vaccinated, they're not going to spread the virus. And if the athletes are vaccinated...
You do realize you can still get the vaccine you can still get the virus while you are vaccinated. Didn't some of the athletes have tested positive? There's a few athletes that are out of the Olympics because they've arrived and got the virus. Oh, dear me. Well, there were some athletes from some countries that refused to wear masks even in the opening ceremony. So not all of them are.
The athletes aren't all vaccinated and no spectators are allowed, okay? Got it. Oh. Cases at Olympic Park. Well, that sucks. So they're spreading it there. Got it.
The Fox says you can be vaccinated and still pass on the virus. It just means that you get you lot less likely to end up on a ventilator. Correct. That's my understanding too. It's like just because you get the flu vax doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu. You're just going to not get it as bad. That reminds me, I've got to still get my flu vax.
Not all cases.
She's even boring herself.
All right, I don't want to talk about the vaccine because then that just makes everyone literally bring in their vaccine misinformation.
But she just gave some misinformation, didn't she, about they can't get the virus. They can get the virus. We talk about the vaccine and we don't have misinformation.
No, I've never been to that place in St. Paul. We don't frequent St. Paul. We don't live anywhere near St. Paul. We are like an hour away from St. Paul.
That's still my second shot of Pfizer, but New South Wales got 800,000, and Gladys doesn't want to pass on the vaccine, but happy to pass on the virus. She does. She's very happy to pass on the virus. Yes. And it's funny how the Prime Minister was able to find all these extra doses when the rest of the country was asking for them. But anyway.
So no. Hello from Arkansas. We're in a drought too. Yeah, we have a massive drought going on here right now.
I'm glad the feds found. I don't get me wrong. I'm glad the feds found extra, but every other state had been crying out for vaccines, and there was none. Arkansas the Duggars.
Hello from Texas. Disinformation. A nurse acts. Well, nurses can be constantly.
Oh dear.
And yeah, we have several anti-vax nurses that work at my son's agency. So being a nurse doesn't make you a vaccine expert. I don't never going to like announce when I go to visit Amy, and I'm not going to tell you guys that because people are literally so creepy that they stalk everything I do.
So she's not going to tell anyone when she's going to go visit Amy, really? It'll be November, won't it, when the court case is up?
So sometime, but when I do, I'm not going to tell you guys when I go. It'll just happen, and then I'll be there, and then I'll be home.
There's no way she'd keep that quiet. In my opinion, there's no way she'd keep that quiet. She let it slip out. So I don't remember her asking to tell me when she's visiting anyone. Oh dear. Well, we'll know when she's away because you're right, Kim. There'll be no posting of anything. There'll be no Twitter, no Instagram.
I am very tired.
Well, that is true, Mimo. There are some people who have it on advice of their doctors not to get vaccinated. So you can't make judgments about why people, just because someone's not vaccinated doesn't mean they're an anti-vaxxer. And in Australia, we only have two choices at the moment. So it's not as if there's a great choice of different vaccines to choose from. So
I'm having fun blocking accounts right now. It's like super fun. Oh.
Oh no! Look, I know that. Particularly people that are immune compromised, or if they've got cancer, or if they've got some other condition that's, there are some people where it's going to be more dangerous to have the vaccine, and they want a vaccine. And as I said, it's a choice between you and your doctor, really, and it's a discussion. I have two friends for their own health. They've been told not to. That's why we need herd immunity for those people. Yeah. That's why if the majority if everyone that can get vaccinated gets vaccinated, we protect those that can't.
If I said when I was leaving, people would probably be at the airport trying to find me. And I don't mean that because I'm literally I have zero clout. I just have crazy people that are making my life hell right now. Nope, the Duggars are not a part of any of the harassment I've received. Nope, not even a thing.
We need 80% Dewey the fault. Wow, we are a long way off. It'll be a while before we get to that. But not yet.
This was for someone that was in the Olympic trials. One of my husband's old coworkers.
So she's learned something about Olympic trials, but doesn't know anything about the Olympics, the real Olympics. Yes, 4 people will stalk her in the only airport in Minnesota.
I'm just chatting. I don't really have a theme. I just came to talk. But thanks, Rachel, but we're getting really close to figuring out things. And so I've been working really hard to figure everything out. So we'll get some relief soon. I'm still a boss mom. I try.
I'm heading to car. Hopefully I'll still be able to listen. Okay, totally clueless.
My Sunday was good. How was your Sunday? I don't have a topic. I literally just came on to talk. You guys are so sweet. You guys are so cute.
No way. Really?
So cute. Could you imagine with the people, with the crap I've gone through the last several months, if I ever announced when I was going somewhere, people would literally, I would be scared. I would be scared. I'm not a fan of what's happening either, Laura. It definitely has led back to that group. But now we have to, it took me forever, you guys. People sent me so much information, and I had to weed through a lot of screenshots, and then I wasn't telling people.
So why is she doing it and not the FBI? Is that because there is no investigation?
I haven't even told you half of the stuff that's been going on because honestly, I can't, because if you guys knew every detail, I would have you don't need to know. It's bad. But what I had to do was I had to look through screenshots of conversations that were happening and tie them back to the threats I was getting to see if there was any correlating conversations around the same time, revolving around the same.
Laura says she's filtering the information for her own gain. That's why she's not showing all the screenshots, because there's context. It led back to the group because she didn't want to actually do work on the investigation.
Things, and if the people that were talking about the same things that showed up in threats. So I was able to find a lot of correlations, specifically in May. So yeah, that kind of helped.
Now, Toby Clues is scared of what she's been getting death threats for a couple of years, but nothing actually happened. If she was actually had them, then it's time to ignore them. Hello, actually wake up early. Congratulations, Australia, on 2,000 subs. So happy for her. Thank you very much. Yeah. Just, we didn't need to know sponsor was your source. Yeah, right, says Kim. Well, that's right. She mentioned that she went to the police and they didn't respond. Oh, really? That's interesting. But again, the story keeps changing. It all leads back.
Yeah. I had to become a detective because while the FBI investigates some parts, I have to be able to take care of my family on this end. So we have to be able to.
What? That makes no sense. She said, what? She has to take care of her family from this end. What's that got to do with it? If there were real legitimate threats, there would be protection for the family. Wouldn't there? If the threats are real, all her stuff would be monitored. They would be monitoring all her social media if the threats were real. I'm not saying they're not real, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying if they were that serious, that they would be doing something about it.
Itemize information so that we can get restraining orders. So that was what I was working on today while my son wasn't feeling good. I was like reading through screenshots and.
So that's what you do when your son's not feeling very well.
And cataloging them and putting them in folders so that when I talked to my lawyer today too. So I feel like every day I talk to my lawyer.
Yeah, her lawyer's liking her talking to her because she's racking up a big bill.
No one has ever shown up at my house. No, thankfully.
Hang on a minute. Didn't she have to get cameras in there because somebody took a photo of their house or something was across the street or something? Oh, dear me.
It's really weird because Twitter is where I all the people go that are that hate me. And so they stalk my Twitter, right? And then I share stuff. I share the information. So I share what I'm learning and who I'm learning things from and what information has been given. And I poke and I leave little trails of crumbs to see if I can draw people out, which is what has helped me figure everything out. And nobody engages on my Twitter.
She did say that. Yes, she did. Nobody engages her on her Twitter. Well, yeah, because we're just reading it and shaking our heads and going, really? And let's face it, she's blocked a heap of people.
Oh, I don't know, man. They are obsessed, and they literally think I'm dangerous because someone has brainwashed them to make them believe that I'm a dangerous human being. So they honestly have been told by this group of people that I'm dangerous. It's insanity.
I don't think you're dangerous. I think some of the things you say are dangerous. I don't think you're literally dangerous. But how you roll up subs to go after people, after Duggar's sponsors, that's dangerous. Maybe stupid, says Castille.
They literally think I'm dangerous. They've been told that I'm like an existential threat to humanity.
What? She needs a storyline to try and stay relevant. She has nothing to say and nobody's watching. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many were watching at this time.
That I am psychotic, that I am a psychopath, that I'm a abusive woman, that I have narcissism. It's insane. And, you know, it's funny because then they have to manufacture their evidence to prove this. And
yes, she's shaking her head while she's saying, I'm watching the head movements. Is everyone watching the head movements? She doesn't believe what she's saying because she's shaking her head as she's saying it. I'll take it back. Watch the head move. The fox really has created a monster here.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Watch the head.
They are obsessed, and they literally think I'm dangerous because
she's not looking at the camera. She's looking away. She's looking down.
Someone has brainwashed them to make them believe that I'm a dangerous human being. So they honestly have been told by this group of people that I'm dangerous. It's insanity. They literally think I'm dangerous. They've been told that I'm like an existential threat to humanity, that I am psychotic, that
Watch the head shake.
I am a psychopath, that I'm a abusive woman.
There you go. It does look like she's reading off something. Did you just see the head just shake from side to side at that point? Totally different to what she was saying.
I have narcissism. It's insane.
Again, the head's going to shake.
And, you know, it's funny because then they have to manufacture their evidence to...
There you go. Head's shaking again.
...prove this. And, you know, there's lots of reasons people might not want to like me, but when you have to, like, fake evidence, that's just stupid. And when you're in the public eye, whether it's a small channel, and my channel is not big, by the way, it's still relatively small in the grand scheme of creators, you know, there's people...
Shaking the head again. I'm going to have to... Oh, dear. You have to hunt more clips for me, says the fox. See, you've created a monster, the fox.
People just will take things too far.
And I believe that's now clippers she's playing with as well. Hello.
And, you know, it's nice to see some people starting to call this group out and call them for what they are. No, it's not the IVLP.
Hello, Susan from Canada. Yes, it's exciting, isn't it? The fox says, I created something, I may as well make it worthwhile. Yes, you may as well make it worthwhile. So we actually are watching. We're watching Katie Joy now for research, for body language.
I didn't get sued 3 times in 3 years. And I've never lost a lawsuit.
Wait on. Hang on.
And, it's nice to see some people starting to call this group out and call them for what they are. No, it's not the IBLP. I didn't get sued 3 times in 3 years. And I've never lost a lawsuit.
Hang on. She settled. Nobody won. It's like one of those, it's like when you're a kid and everybody got the ribbon. They walked away. She's saying she never lost a lawsuit. You settled. You didn't win.
How did I get sued 3 times?
Okay, there is the jelly juice. What's the second one? I'm confused. How does one call themselves creators when all they do is sit on the couch dribbling about stuff that does not matter? The Fox says it sounds like, it does sound like Porter. So what are they? There was the jelly juice. There was another one, wasn't there? What was the second one? And Tardy was the third. I can't think of the second one. Or was there only 2? Jelly juice was jurisdiction, wasn't it? Yeah, she got the participation ribbon. That's right. Oh, Sherelle. Was it Sherelle? Was Sherelle the other one? 2 were based on jurisdiction and Tardy settled. Yeah, I couldn't remember.
When Jillian Epperly tried to sue me in small claims court over bogus claims that were dismissed immediately, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. It's still a lawsuit. Still a lawsuit.
And my Westbrook one was dismissed. So
no, the Westbrook one was settled.
Oh, anyone can get sued for anything. That's the nature of this business.
Oh, I forgot. We're talking to a legal expert here. Supposedly, Chris Lee is filing in Minnesota. It does count. Jilly couldn't afford to refile. Beat that, KJ. If KJ had won the settlement, all her Tardy videos would still be there, and all her tweets about Saltsy would still be up. She wouldn't have had to have removed anything. She didn't win.
Yes, it is. Lucy needs a friend.
It's so easy to sue in Australia. In America, I believe cats and dogs can sue. If Katie had one, we'd still be hearing about it all over. She would be. Now, somebody has there have been whispers around that Tati may be going to, that she may be in breach of settlement. I've got no idea other than the fact they're whispers that she may be in breach of settlement. All right, see you, Kim. And there may be something in the works, but again, that's just whispers. Careless whispers.
Yeah, Twitter people are pretty bad. Unfortunately, that's where I can get information out and people will actually see it.
Hello, Gigi B1. Look at you, 2K. Congratulations. Thank you, Gigi. I've slapped to prevent. Oh, that's cool.
They stalk my Twitter. It's kind of weird. They bought it and they track to see if I delete comments and if I delete tweets. Can you imagine your life revolving around if someone deletes a tweet or deletes a comment? Why?
Doesn't she do that with the Duggars? Oh, Jim Bob and Shelley haven't mentioned happy birthday to the kids yet. Oh.
Why does that bother you if someone deletes something? If somebody deletes a comment, why would that bother you? If someone deletes a post or deletes a tweet, why does that matter?
See you later.
Twitter is a dumpster fire for Trash Panda. Thank you for your badges.
She was going to say super chat.
Yeah, they.
But apparently, I've heard that Tati, that KJ could be in breach. Don't quote me on that.
Live stream my chats. They they track my members so that they can recruit people into their cult. It's so weird.
They track. Oh dear me! They put trackers on them, do they? I'm sorry. I'm in a funny mood today.
I don't think that he's married to Tiffany. No. Question about Lawson Bates. No. Twist
and shout, twist and shout. Oh, come on, baby, now. Yeah, they recruited me, offered me a Take 5 bar, and that's all it took. Well, hey, I can be bought with coffee, so give me a good coffee, and I'll join.
You're just convinced it's going to be a Lifetime movie. You know, I'm saving all the screenshots.
And I'm saving all my screenshots for you.
But honestly, I don't know.
I honestly don't know. Hello, Lynn Light and Love. Hello. Thank you. Yes, her kid deletes the screenshots. Hello, Just Dom. How are you? She said that in a live. She did say that in a chat that her son deletes screenshots.
It's just nice to see some other creators calling them out. I think the biggest thing is when this kind of stuff happens to anyone, it means it can happen to you. And I'm nothing special. I'm no one special. I just want to make content. That's all I want to make.
What are you doing on Instagram then?
Hopefully once I can get some of this stuff resolved. But my channel has been plugging away. We're still making content like normal.
Still making content as normal. That's funny. Well, thank you, Just Dom. Yes, it's very exciting, isn't it?
You are special.
She's got no duggers.
Well, I can't promise anyone's going to get arrested. That's not my job. There's only so much you can do, right? You can't control the outcome. That's what I keep telling myself. I am very entertaining. Not right now. I'm actually kind of blah. I was like, it was funny all weekend. I didn't pay attention to my normal beat. I wasn't paying attention to the reality people. I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in Duggartown. I wasn't paying attention to any of it.
So if she's no one special, then why are people doing all these things to her then, if she's nobody special? Well, that's right. You can control the actions. That's why when I had that woman call me out to being one of the most top 10 problematic YouTubers between Katie Joy and James Charles, of all people, I ignored it because I wasn't going to give her any views. And those videos still only have about 20 views. So 20 people watched it.
My channel's grown 40,000 subscribers since May, I think. I've had some good growth. It slowed down a little bit. The Josh Duggar stuff certainly helped. My channel's doing...
So how can then she say that there's damage to her channel?
Really well right now, overall. I'm actually not losing subscribers, so that's weird. My channel has been growing steadily. I had a huge month in May, and then a decent-sized month in...
Need to listen to the June version of the Lord's Prayer, just saying, okay, regime normal. Okay, I'll do that.
June. It goes in ebbs and flows.
Oh, Susan, thank you for the super sticker. Lovely. Yes, it grows 2,000 a week. I don't know. Mine's grown 10. Well, mine grew and then it ungrew and then it grew again. It's really quite exciting. But yeah, to hit 2,000 was really cool. So thank you very much, Susan.
And the subscribers we have right now are so engaged in the content. It's amazing.
Really?
Amazing. I had the sweetest message the other day. Someone in my DMs was like, oh my gosh, do you ever go on TikTok? And I was like, no. And they're like, oh, the people that, all the people that cover the Duggars, they're, always sharing your stuff and, quoting you for their stories. And they're like, it's so cute. They love you. And I'm like, aw.
And hit 3Ks in a few months, and Harrison will ask you when you're going to hit 5. That's right. That's what he will do. Hello. quick drive-by before bed to say, woo, 2,000 Ks. Well, so thank you, Poppy.
I haven't paid attention to the hobby stuff. Literally, if I do a video on Kaylin, nobody watches. People just are so tired of her. Yeah, someone was saying that, like, the TikTok girls that, like, cover the Duggars are so sweet about me. So I thought that was sweet. I was like, oh. They're like, you need to go on TikTok. And I was like, oh, man. Man.
Well, Harrison's told me every day I was going to hit 2,000 subscribers every day. He's gone, today's the day. And so I said to him, hey, Harrison, we hit 2,000. And he said, oh, don't say that. And yeah.
Yeah, you guys are, like, keeping me going. Can I just say that? Like, it's been really, really easy to forget that, you know, when you're trying to, like, the hardest part of this, like, putting my head down to figure things out so that I can, my goal here is to take care of my family. You know, it's my business, one, and then two, taking care, you know, one, my family, two, my business. And, you know, they went after my son and they went after my husband. And I'm a big girl. I don't care if they go after me, but when you start going after my kid and you start going after my husband and you start trying to get my husband locked up for stuff, like, no, that ain't going to happen. So having to get to the bottom of it, to find all the stuff that I needed to be able to protect my family, I've had to be around people that don't like me, and it's so weird. It's weird to go into the world where people don't like you, because
that's the world of real life. Every day you are around people that don't like you. In real life. Welcome to real life. The real world. You can turn up, you can have a job where the people don't like you. But you go down, you do your job.
all you hear the whole time is like, everyone hates you. Everyone hates you. And I'm like, dude, like, my channel doesn't say that, like, at all. My channel says that my views are up. My channel says that my 90% or higher like rates on my videos. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, when you're in that world where people don't like you, you're like, people all think that they like dislike you, and I'm like, but that's not true, because, like, my channel is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
And everyone is so engaged in the comments, and it's awesome. I love to see your...
I thought her views were down, actually. It'll be interesting to see what happens when there's no Duggar at all.
comments. I love to see you guys talking and chatting.
I like to be able to delete your comments when you don't agree with me. I don't do that, by the way. Do you notice? I don't. The only comments that ever get deleted are the spam ones. Everything else stays there.
There's some videos, man, where you guys just go off. There's some videos on Anna Duggar where there's like thousands of comments, and I'm just like, yes. Haters gonna hate. Just don't stalk me.
Haters gonna hate. Shake it off, shake it off. She keeps giving me song. See, I'm one of those people that someone will say something and I'll burst into song. And that's all she's doing to me at the moment. She's triggering me into song.
You know, I was actually just talking. It's funny. Who was I talking to? I was talking to Amy about this, actually. Josh's hearing is closed. His trial is closed for the most part. So it's not going to be really open to the public. And because of what's in the trial, they're going to be talking about really sensitive stuff that's not going to be.
Yes, and they will clear everybody out except the people that have to be there. So not even your friend Amy will be able to be in there, actually, to be honest with you. Well, if that's what it's like in Australia, with a couple of the cases here, they actually clear the court out. So there's only bare minimum. Not even the junior lawyers were allowed in the room. Only the senior lawyers were.
Public. So we won't know a lot of what happens if this goes to trial.
Now she's saying if.
Because I was talking to Amy about that. Hold on a second.
What you doing?
I have jury duty in August. Oh my God, I hope I don't get picked.
There you go. Jury duty. What would the case be? What case do you reckon she'd get?
I just got summoned. Seriously. Can I disqualify because I'm self-employed and if I don't work, I don't make money?
Do you get paid? Do you get an allowance for being on jury duty? I know in Australia you do, and that your employer has to continue to pay you. Is that how it works in the US? Could you imagine sitting in a jury? Yeah, I know it's a very small amount. My mother got picked for jury duty, but there's actually an age limit on. There's actually an age limit for jury duty in Australia, and she was too old, so she was quite happy. She got it. She got twice actually. She got it twice. Once for the federal court, one for the Supreme Court, and there's an age limit. So she was quite happy.
So I was talking to Amy about it. No, it's closed to the public. So most of the trial is going to be closed just because it involves children that are victims of child sexual abuse, and they have to protect those children's identities, and they also have to protect the public from the content that's in what he downloaded. And you can disqualify if you are the caregiver for your son during the day. Can I really?
But you're not. You're not the caregiver.
State.
But you got $5 a day plan to create. It's interesting. I am lucky, aren't I? Yeah. See, the thing is, I would love jury duty. The thing that would really annoy me is that I wouldn't be able to ask questions. I'd say, but I when I asked the question, you did not. I'd say to the lawyer, you haven't asked the right question. And I'd go in with my 10 pages of notes and say, but my KP so, and
It asked if I had a medical problem, not if I was a caregiver. I was looking for that question to see if there was a disqualification based on my son's status.
Was she in the same? Oh, she said. See, I would too. Mental block. I would take it seriously. I would be the one asking these questions and go, you know, like I do with Kitty Joy, and I go, hang on a minute, I heard this. Joanne, you do not want to be in that part of the courtroom. Oh dear.
Okay, so anyways, it's closed to the public, and so we were like talking about if I would go down there for it, and I was like telling her, and I was like, I don't know if I could even sit in that trial, because it's not going to be broadcast. It's going to be an actual trial. It's not going to be Zoomed or anything like that. And
she wouldn't be there. We all know Joe wants to put the. I know. Oh, actually, I want to be the judge. Actually, please don't come to my state, KJ. But didn't she just say she wasn't going to tell people when she was going to go to visit Amy, and now she's just talking about going down for the trial? Hello, this is my problem. Contradiction. See, this is what I would be. You could just, she could just bomb a jury interview. Oh, she doesn't like men. She doesn't like women. She doesn't like strong women. What else doesn't she like? She doesn't like cops. So she doesn't like Christians. She doesn't like fundies. So there would be quite a bit of prejudice there.
so when you fill out the jury questionnaire, there was no part on there about my son. It was only about my child's, my personal things.
Her child's? Wait on. Hang on. She likes herself, Mr. Obvious. Have a listen to this again. Elliot, I just said it. Have a listen to it again.
Okay, so anyways, it's closed to the public, and so we were talking about if I would go down there for it, and I was telling her, and I was like, I don't know if I could even sit in that trial, because it's not going to be broadcast. It's going to be an actual trial. It's not going to be Zoomed or anything like that. And so when you fill out the jury questionnaire, there was no part on there about my son. It was only about my child's, my personal things.
My child's? Isn't her child her son?
I got picked for jury duty. I was actually, so I had to fill out the questionnaire, and I didn't want to lie. I don't like to lie on any, I'm the most by the book kind of person. I will do my taxes for 4 days to make sure that everything is done properly. And so I didn't want to have to I did not want to lie on the form, and there was nothing about my son's care in there. But but there was a phone number that I could call, and I figured I would call them. My actual concern isn't even just about that. It's about he's medically fragile, and I don't want to go into a courthouse that could potentially expose me to COVID.
But yet she'll go to Arkansas. Huh? Hang on. She's happy to go visit Amy and go to court to see Josh Duggar. She doesn't want to do hello by the Foss. But she doesn't want to go to court in Minnesota because she might get exposed to COVID. Can someone make that? Can someone make that? Arkansas is COVID central right now. Oh, okay. I was going to say, how does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. Oh, Arkansas. So, yeah. So she's more like. So you're saying she's more likely to get COVID if she goes to Arkansas than if she goes to the courthouse, correct? Well, she could always go to jury duty in PPE.
That's true. My son is in and out of the hospital.
Did post it on his Instagram? I don't know. All right, so she shouldn't go to Arkansas anyway because of the positive COVID cases.
I would not be a very good juror, to be honest, because of my son's medical conditions.
What? Huh? So because your son's medical conditions won't make you a good juror. Huh? Huh? That doesn't make any sense.
We've been to the hospital twice this summer.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's confused. I would have found if she had said I wouldn't make a good juror because of the R that I experienced or the SA I experienced, I'd go, yes, I understand that.
They want to prove he was set up, I'm sure. They always want to say he's been set up, don't they? They always do that. Always. Biden planted it, right? It was a giant conspiracy. Well, I could definitely get a doctor's note. In fact, I think he has cardiology during that time. Would my ADHD, preclude me? Christopher, I do have some weird...
Really?
Haters. Christopher Jones is this guy right here. I love him. He's ex-IBLP. This dude knows his stuff. And I love him because he'll send me a message after a video and he'll be explaining to me. He sent me a message the other day about how...
Has she just outed the source? She just outed the source?
Oh, it's the fact that Ginger wears black is a is like rebelling against the IBLP. And I had no idea. I had no clue. That's why I love the IBLPers that like watch me, because they can always fill me in on all kinds of good stuff. Yes, Chris is ex-IBLP, and he also has a ton of wealth of information. He has an entire Google Drive of all of their curriculum.
That's, she's just out of the source. Didn't she say once that she had this source that gave her a Google Drive of information? See, Miss Obvious. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? She said, I got this from a source. But she's definitely, she doesn't know anything about it. But it sounds like she outed another source.
So he has helped educate me so much.
And
I definitely appreciate every single person that is from that world that helps me do my job better. Black is rebelling against the IBLP. I guess he said that Gothard doesn't like the color black. I don't know.
Plan to create, the ABC is reporting that school students are set to return to the classroom. However, it could be a staggered return. So it doesn't look like it's saying that there won't be an announcement until lunchtime. However, there's a meeting in the morning. So thank you, E. But the ABC is saying possibly a staggered return to students. So I don't know.
It's a weird thing. Thanks for the badge. Peace, K. Necked. Ginger's not in the IBLP. She's in a different world. It's like, it's the John MacArthur world. But she's not in the IBLP anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It had to do with reflecting on one's countenance. Okay, because black is a dark color, right? And so it makes you like a dark person. Oh, I reached 5 supporters. Yay! Thanks for the badges, everyone. TKSZ05 badge. Thank my supporters. Woo-woo! The countenance. It's so ridiculous.
Thank you, Billy.
I cannot. Hey, Denise. Thanks for the badge. You're so cute. You are pretty dark, Scarlett. That's correct. You wear black so you can be visible.
Plan to Create says, okay, as long as my son gets to go back first. I would say that they would put schoolers back before the primary schoolers, in my opinion. Thank you, Mental Block. That's what I think. But hey, who knows?
I'm not a huge black. I don't wear a lot of black. I like bright colors. Obviously, as you can tell with my wardrobe, I like to wear a lot of colors. I'm really into florals right now. I don't know what that's about, to be honest. Sherry, thank you for your badge. We're not really talking about anything. Black is great for hiding weight. That's true. I just don't wear a lot of black just because we have a house full of animals. Loving my style lately? it's been fun. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying different places, and a lot of the stuff lately I've been wearing has been from Goodnight Macaroon and from Lulu's.
Ooh.
I've been going outside of my comfort zone and like wearing lower necklines, which is crazy. You like my hats? This is my husband's hat that I've taken over. Amy just got new pre-orders and I need to go look. You're happy. That's why I wear bright colors. Is that why? I like to find outfits to keep you guys like interested. You got your Scentbird? Oh, that's great. I'm glad you ordered it. Yay, I hope you like it. My haters tried to get me canceled.
Huh.
Gothard never taught that red was the devil's colors. I know I like to talk about defrauding and then have like my neckline being defrauding. I've been wearing a lot of like boho this summer. I've been very much vibing with the boho feel lately. Red was the devil's color is very FLDS. Correct, Christopher. Yeah, they thought I got canceled because Scentbird said that they were not working with me anymore. And I'm like, duh, we had a contract for one video. Of course we're not working together anymore.
Really? But if I saw something that says that she gets paid for $14 per sign up, so she wouldn't have been fully paid yet. Yeah, she said
my upper body is toned. Oh, I feel like it could be more toned. All I do is run. That's it.
Actually, I thought she used the elliptical machine. You know, this one. I didn't think she did running.
Boho, it's like bohemian. It's like, I don't know. It's like ruffles and skirts and pleats and kind of that hippie vibe. Empire print, like empire waist tops with the, I don't even know. I can't describe it.
No.
That's what it's been. Flowy. I don't even think like Josie Bates is very boho. I feel like Josie is like fundy boho. I feel like the fundy boho is different than boho.
What?
Because the fundamentalists don't wear, a lot of boho is actually like loose, like.
What on earth is that?
Low necklines, and the fundy girls don't do that.
She did say that she wants to get sponsorship for clothes.
Yep, it's a hippie vibe. I've always been into that vibe since, I mean, I've been wearing boho clothes since I was in college. One of my best friends was a fashion person, and she said I was a sophisticated bohemian style.
Really?
Like, boho's like, I think of boho's like kind of a romantic hippie look. I don't know. Yeah. Fundy boho, yeah.
Oh, this was boring, wasn't it? The only thing I've heard, I don't get me started on her makeup, get more heated than the only thing I've learned is that she's trying to get out of jury duty.
But when it comes to the style of my house is not boho because, and that's not even really boho in the house that they're all into. Like these fundamentalists are really into minimalism, and they're like really into like fabrics on the walls and plants. Like that's their style, and that's not my style when it comes to decorating my house.
Oh, you have to stop it there, don't you? Oh, I actually thought she dropped it. She fell off the chair for a moment. What's she doing?
You are in Thompson, Okanagan. Hello, welcome. I'm not going to do any meet and greets currently because I have crazy people that want to hurt me. So
meet and greets?
I don't live in a place where meet and greets are really possible, to be honest. And I'm a huge homebody.
I thought she I did too. I thought she fell off the chair, actually. I was just trying to work it all out.
Hello from Ohio. Go Bucks, right? I have not been paying attention to the Olympics.
Not again.
I didn't even know what was going on until
I actually just had to check to make sure we weren't back at the start because I thought, I'm sure we've been through this.
Someone mentioned it in the chat. That's like how disconnected I am. Discombobulated. Go Niners. Skull Vikings. You guys, one of my cats got into a fight with another one of my cats and he got his he's got like a huge scab on his head, the poor guy.
No way.
Do you guys, any of you do you have animals that try to murder each other? I swear that's my life.
They shouldn't be doing that if they were integrated properly. But anyway.
Literally have animals that try to murder each other. Does anyone else have a hard time enjoying the gymnastics team after everything that's come out about Larry and the creepy people in the gymnastics world that have like sexually abused the children? Does anyone else feel weird about the U.S. gymnastics team?
Yeah. Really?
Ever since that all came out, or is it just me? I feel like I have a very stained, I just can't get into it.
Sorry, a trigger? Is it a trigger? Yeah, sorry, trigger warning. I've not seen this, so yeah.
You watch to support survivors?
Talking about gymnastics, did you see that there was a 46-year-old woman? She actually just competed in her very last Olympic Games on vault. She's been to everyone since Atlanta. Isn't that amazing? She's been to, I think they said 5 or 6 Olympic Games. That is amazing. I can't think of her name, but she was 46 years old, 46, she's in her 40s and she's still competing in gymnastics. And she's retiring after this Olympic Games. that is inspirational.
It's hard because so many of the top athletes have been abused by these people. They're just worked so hard, and then these trainers are just... No, it's not that I feel it's not about what's done to them. It's about the gymnastics organization I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the girls. I'm not...
Oh, no, we're not going to start on that, are we? What she says here is awful. Okay, so we need to put a trigger warning in. And again, she's going to talk about stuff she doesn't know anything about, obviously. And I wish you wouldn't.
I'm talking about their achievement. I'm talking about the problems with the gymnastics organization as a whole.
She lacks sympathy. Oh, really? Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. This is her. Oh, just... Oh, wow, 57-year-old. Yeah. This is her. She's 46. I'll see if I can get it on there. She's 46. Oops. She's just retiring. I just think it's amazing. Standing ovation of the dry eye in the house for the artistic gymnastics legend Osaka Chindasvina as she takes her final Olympics bow. The 46-year-old Olympian has become an 8-time Olympian, competing on vault for the last time. 8 Olympics. So 1992. She's been at every one since 1992. So ROC at the moment, I believe. She's from unfortunately, the country has changed names a few times. So, yeah, 8-time. And what was really, I think for me, what was really sad is that she didn't have a crowd there to say farewell to her or to thank her. It was only all the other gymnasts, and then all the other gymnasts that had competed at that time all wanted to get their photo with her. It was a really lovely moment. But apparently her son's 13 or, is like 16 or 17 or something. So she was competing with, same age as her son. I wish she'd hurry up.
I hope that it gets better.
I wish she'd hurry up.
I hope they stop the abuse that's been happening in that world. It's horrible.
Not just gymnastics, by the way. Not that I'm
Yes, I cover Plathville. I don't know why you keep asking that question, but we're not talking about Welcome to Plathville right now. We're talking about gymnastics. And if I don't answer a question, it certainly doesn't mean that I'm not doing something. I helped you get through COVID. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, Desi. Tons of ethical questions about that, for sure. And then,
don't go there. Don't go there.
Questions about the trainers.
No, don't go there.
The coaches, and just so much. So much.
Don't go there. You don't know what you're talking about.
I like to be rude, Chelsea. If I wasn't rude, what would you have to talk about?
What? No way. Right, this is the woman's name, so have a look at her. Asanka. I think she's from Serbia, one of the countries that keeps changing their names, and I think they said she's competed under 3 or 4 different country names as well, which is, so that's her. They were really hoping she'd get into the vault final, but she just missed out as well. But I tell you what, I'm 45 this year. I want to so look like this when I'm 46. I want to look like this when I'm 46. Look at her. Look at her. I got a year and a half. Get myself into shape. Just say the former Yugoslavia. Yeah, former Yugoslavia. That's it.
I didn't think I was being rude. I was just saying that if I don't answer right away, I'm not ignoring you, and it certainly doesn't mean that I don't cover it. I hope that's true. Gold medals bring money. I had a dream once I was in the Olympics, but I didn't win a gold medal. I won a bronze.
To be given that ovation from a fellow athlete, so I think so, yeah. And, all the judges and everything. So she was, they were saying she was really popular, but I was watching. I have to say I was crying at the time too. Because everyone else was.
Don't blame the parents. That's horrible. I can't imagine blaming parents for someone abusing their child.
Hang on. Is that unless they are daggers?
Allie, who was one of the whistleblowers, man. God damn, she was brave. Allie Reisman, was that her name? Yeah, Allie. She testified in court, and she did a victim's impact statement. I was like bawling when I was watching her victim impact statement. She was so fucking brave. Allie Reisman. She is a queen. Thanks for the badge.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed the fruit. Yeah, I did. I'm usually pretty good on them, but I wasn't today.
You need someone like that to speak up for everyone, and without a voice like that, it doesn't make it so that anyone else can speak out.
Oh, Toad's up.
Allie is a hero. She's such a good role model too for other people that have gone through that. And hearing these girls going through such horrific injuries and then going to the trainer to get help and then to be sexually abused. Can you even imagine?
Why is she talking about somebody else's issues? Didn't she say the other day that she didn't like people talking about her issues? Didn't she say, I don't like people talking about my art. It's my art. Don't talk about it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. That wasn't intended, but this is, the contradictions are just annoying me.
It's horrible. Is Simone doing good? Is she performing well?
No, she
is so talented.
Did she get in?
I love hearing that she can still do that.
Yeah, she did. And here she goes talking about, yes, I know. And the girls are underage. I don't understand that.
Simone has got to be one of the most talented gymnasts.
Oh, yeah. She's Uzbekistan. Yeah. She's been representing Uzbekistan, studying 19. She represented Germany to thank them for treating her son in hospital. She's just, wow. I looked it up on the website. Yeah, I couldn't remember.
I've ever seen in my entire life. Did she not win every medal last time? She's so talented. She's such a good athlete. She's had a bad day for her.
She did have a bad day. She did not
have made 6 of the finals.
Yeah, she didn't do as good as she could have.
Not her best. Isn't her best better than most people though? Even if she doesn't do her best, isn't that better than most people? She's that talented.
Really? No, she didn't win. As far as I know.
That's what I was going to say, Courtney. Isn't her worst day somebody's personal best day?
Really?
That girl, when she's on the floor, I swear she just I've never seen someone do stuff on the beam and make it look easy. She went off the board out of bounds on a pass, and then on beam and vault, she had some pretty landings with lots of steps. Got it.
So apparently Biles only finished 3/10 ahead of somebody else. She also made a few mistakes as well, but that's what they're saying. It wasn't her best day. It wasn't her best day. The theory is you just need to qualify and then you pull out your best. So
she flies on the floor. She is so strong. She's got those powerful legs. She's 4'8". Oh, she's so little.
Thank you, Cal.
She's so tiny.
I think the audience does help shoulder cook.
Dunce throw.
Really? Really? I'm sorry, that's hilarious. She's saying gymnastics stunts their growth. Where's the science behind that?
She's still number 1 in the all around, or what?
Oh,
a full point behind Russia. Got it.
Oh, dear.
So she's still number 1 in the all around, even with all those mistakes. I bet that's because her tricks are so difficult. Right? So she starts with a super high score. so she has room to make errors.
Not necessarily. So if you start with a higher score, if you don't complete the score, it gets deducted. So if you have a difficulty of 6.4, but if they don't think that you've, so if, let's just say you have to do a full turn, but if you don't do a full turn, they won't pay it. So you actually can also lose more that way, because not only do you lose the mark, you lose a whole point for not doing the full turn, you then will get deducted on the execution of that full turn as well. So you can actually lose the double points. So not quite right. But yes, theory. I mean,
so like for her, she has so many tricks, so much difficulty.
You can't have so many tricks. You have a certain amount. Everybody has a certain amount of requirements. You have every gymnast has to do a type of a mount, and there's a choice of mount. Yes, it starts a bit. You can have a harder mount. They then have to do a chest to beam. How they do that is up to them. The more tricks you do, the more mistakes you're likely to make, the more marks you are likely to have deducted. It's not about tricks, it's about skills. There's usually a turn, there's usually a one where they have to do a flip and a handstand. There are core requirements and bonus requirements. But the bonus ones also have greater risk. So, yes, I am an ex-gymnastics judge, so just thought I'd let you. I thought I would tell you that. So it might say a handstand to 90 degrees, or handstand to 90 degrees might be the requirement, but if you do a handstand all the way up, that might be the bonus, and that might only get you 0.5. But then they might have a handstand walkover is another bonus. So, they might say you've got to get to vertical, but if you don't get to vertical, you lose a mark. So it will have a specific requirement. In order for this skill to be paid, it needs to get to vertical. It's really hard to explain because it's very complicated, but it's just not a matter of just doing tricks and picking what trick you do. You usually will have to do a full turn. And I know she actually messed up her own move. I know she did her own move the other day. She actually messed it up and didn't get paid it. So if you don't execute those bonuses perfectly, you actually don't get paid it. You actually lose double the marks.
Her start values are super high. See? I know.
No, you don't know anything about gymnastics. There's a limit, and there's also a maximum that they can be.
The rules.
No, you don't.
Gymnastics.
No,
this
you
is
don't.
The first year I haven't seen it.
You don't know about gymnastics. What I do know is I was watching the gymnastics, and I only ever had to worry about the execution. I never had to worry about whether the skills were bonuses and all that. And I know that my execution marks have been fairly spot on without seeing them.
Who was the girl that was like ridiculous on the beam a few years ago? Was it Sean? No, it wasn't Sean Johnson.
Who?
Was it Sean Johnson? Who was the tiny girl that was so good on the beam a couple years ago?
From what country?
And it wasn't Simone.
Oh, yeah, I've got no idea about rhythmic gymnastics. Men's gymnastics, well, they're different, but they have many. So, for example, many of the skills that they're tumbling, for example, lines are different. They have different deductions in that, but the judges all look for the same things. But yeah, it's bizarre. Gabby Douglas. Gabby Douglas?
Gabby Douglas. No, not Gabby.
Maybe I have to do a gymnastics breakdown.
I'm thinking of a little tiny girl. She's got like blonde hair.
Nadia Comaneci.
Lori. That name does
Oh yes, that Paul Hunt. Yeah, there's some good ones.
not sound familiar to me. Sean. Okay, it must have been Sean. Sean won the beam in 2008. Thank you. All right, there you go. It was more than a few years ago. There you go. Oh, I forgot about Carly Patterson. Sean Johnson. No, Sean Johnson on the beam. That's what I was thinking about. Natasha Lukin. Yes, I was actually thinking about her too. She was really good on the beam. She was ridiculous on the beam. Thank you. That's who I was thinking of. It was Natasha. That's who I was thinking of. When was Natasha? What year was she?
Really?
It's only every 4 years. So it's like...
Gymnastics happens every year. They have a world championship every year. They have all sorts of stuff. So the Olympics are every 4 years. It's funny because you have there's Commonwealth Games next year for the Commonwealth nations. So because they usually have Olympic Games and 2 years later we have Commonwealth Games and Olympic Games here.
Tanya Harding. Oh, God. I hate Tanya Harding.
No, I haven't watched the bronze.
Ugh. Are you going to hit Nancy Kerrigan's knee? Isn't Sean Johnson
Thank you, not
like
that karma.
kind of a fundy a little bit?
Don't tell Katie Joy, but there's an Australian fundy competing in the swimmings tonight. Competing in the swimming at the Olympics, but don't tell Katie Joy because, like, you know. Thank you, Cindy Sue.
But who grew up in the 1980s and 90s and Christy Yamaguchi was your favorite
Who?
figure skater? Remember Christy? You know Christy? You love Christy, yeah. She had this big smile. Oh my gosh. You remember Christy. She had that humongous smile. I don't remember female figure skaters in the United States for years.
Torval and Dean. Yes, I remember Torval and Dean. Stan Osanka.
I think we've really had a great team the last several years. I don't think we've had a good figure skating team for a bit. Oh, Tara Lipinski bothered me. I don't know why Tara Lipinski bothered me. Oh, I don't know, she annoyed me.
I'm assuming she's talking about American
Michelle
ice
Kwan,
skaters.
I forgot about that.
Is that right? I'm sorry for my ignorance.
I don't feel like we have good figure skaters right now, but I don't know who they are. Because it's been so long since we've had the Olympics.
What? Where was the last winter? The last Winter Olympics. It's so long since we've had. She's saying the US. So last time it was the last Olympic Games in the US, and it was in Pyeongchang, wasn't it? Or was it 2018? Yes, Pyeongchang. So South Korea. So it was in South Korea, and she's saying it's been a long time since we've had the Olympics. Really? Gee whiz.
Tara Lipinski, I don't know what it was about her that bothered me. I can't remember.
Oh. Fortunately, we're nearly done, and I can go to bed.
Who was the chick that was in the Olympics where they... You said that Carrie who? She broke her ankle. Carrie, what was her name? That was like 2004 though, wasn't it? And she landed on one foot. And then he had to pick her up. No, Carrie Strug. Yeah, oh, that was 96.
Gee whiz. Really?
Oh, I remember that. Oh, that poor girl. She totally broke her ankle. That was Atlanta. Oh. That girl is fierce, too. Her name was Conor McGregor. That was the Magnificent Seven. What's this year?
Isn't it? So it makes it mean that there's next year's the
What's this
winter.
Year? What are they called?
Not Winter Olympics.
Someone left the Olympics, I saw. I don't know what that means.
I mean, we don't have a very strong Winter Olympic team, and even I know, because we don't have, we're not necessarily known for our winter stuff. But even I know more about the Winter Olympics than what she does.
Wasn't that like the first time they had won gold in a long time? I feel like that's what happened in 96. Like we hadn't won gold in a while. I was trying to figure out, I saw something like Simone said goodbye to someone that left the Olympics, but why did they leave the Olympics? Are they sick?
Oh, because the woman's 46 years old and is retiring.
Do they have COVID?
What? Oh! She didn't just say that, did she?
Like, why would someone be leaving the Olympics?
Because they're retiring? I mean, oh, jeebies.
You guys are so cute. I don't even watch TV. Michaela did.
Who?
Why are they leaving? Did they say?
Who's leaving?
Someone got hurt, and someone got COVID.
Really? I thought it'd be about the woman that retired.
Oh, she was only for individual. So she's not on the team that's participating for the team. Is that what you're saying? She was only for individual? If you don't qualify, you have to go home.
Yes, because nobody's staying. They're not keeping them at the village. As soon as they're done, they're flying out, I believe. Well, the Australians are. That's what I understand. They're flying out.
All right, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired.
Good.
Go Olympics.
Really?
Have a good night, you guys. Thanks for all your support and all the badges and all the love. That is weird. I thought the teams were usually 6.
No, they're 4 now. They changed.
Because what if someone gets injured? You're totally screwed.
They have a reserve.
Go Olympics.
They have a reserve. That's why they always put 6 in case one gets injured. Duh. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Yay! Go Olympics. Good night, everyone.
How can you be so ignorant and try to come across as intelligent? Anyway, as I said, I was a gymnastics judge and coach for 10 years, so I sort of know gymnastics a little bit. Anyway, so thank you all for joining me. I'm going to head off to bed now. Thank you for celebrating. So watch the community tab. The details of the competition will be there. And this, I got 3 of these to give away. Look at that. I'll probably do it over the weekend when there'll be lots of people on, probably my Sunday afternoon, your Saturday sometime, and try and get everybody to enter. So, yeah, watch out and, keep your eye out. I'm just going to start again.
Hi. It's Sunday night.
All right. And I will next time. Thank you very much. Bye for now.